Hey everyone, I'm Tim Shoup, CEO and founder of Digital Boardwalk, and with me I have James Todd, Digital Boardwalk's Chief Information Officer. What do? We help businesses stay productive and secure through award-winning help desk, cybersecurity, and managed IT services. So you're going to learn how and why they happen and how you can protect your business from becoming the next victim. With that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to James.
So what can you do about it? Well, here's a look at how we go about it. Now, I'm not going to go into each of these here, but I do want you to see that creating a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy is very involved. An important concept to keep in mind, attackers only have to be right once, whereas cybersecurity has to be right every time. We've put together a short list of 5 things you can do to protect your business. First on the list is layers. There is no end-all be-all to cybersecurity. You have to layer your approach to cover your vulnerabilities. Antivirus will no longer keep you protected. Our base cybersecurity stack is comprised of 13 layers. This covers individual components, the whole network, and your users. And here are a few key highlights. Phishing protection, or more generally, email protection. We know this is the most common attack surface, and the junk folder in your Outlook is insufficient for most modern threats. Next, security patching or Windows updates. When Microsoft, or Apple for that matter, release an update, they detail what security holes have been fixed. Attackers basically have the framework for what to attack, and all you have to do to thwart this attack is keep your systems up to date. Now, I do appreciate that Microsoft seems to only want to apply these updates at the least opportune time, but it is important to have a system in place that makes sure this is getting done and can alert you when it isn't. This can be automated and scheduled so it never bugs you during work hours. Security quality enforcement involves the human element. You can implement miles of technology to keep protected, but often your end users can be where attackers get in. You need to define appropriate practices for your staff on how to handle certain events. And finally, intrusion prevention. This is the device on your network that separates your work network from the public internet. A few years ago, the FBI found a massive botnet comprised of home network routers that you can get from stores like Best Buy. The manufacturers of these devices only work on their software long enough to the point that it's stable. Business class systems add much more development and testing with updates to ensure that their equipment is protected. It is impossible to protect yourself from a botnet when you're a part of one. The second thing you can do is implement multi-factor authentication. This is the process that when you log into a site, you then have to enter in a code that's on an app or texted to you. This is effective because even if your password is compromised, if the attacker doesn't also have your phone, they'll be unable to log in. Today, everyone has too many passwords because they're required for everything. And the IT industry knows that to work around this, people are doing things to make it more simple to remember, like using the same password on multiple places or writing passwords down in insecure places. Many companies, including competitors, are working together to make a passwordless future. This still involves multi-factor authentication, but instead of a password and a code, it will use biometrics and a hardware token, like a smart card used at hospitals or a USB key that you can put on your keychain. This saves people from having to remember passwords, but attackers would have to have you and that hardware token to get in. Finally, in the event of a breach, forensics will be done to find the source of the attack. When everyone is logged in, we have an audit trail that tells us exactly who is in and where they went. If you have simple password measures and people are able to log in as others, then these logs are useless.